Hello, good morning. It's Adil Fazal here, bringing a review of the European markets for the trading analyst for trading day. We have is the Monday, the 5th of November 2018. So it's bonfire night. Okay, not exactly fireworks on the markets this morning. Okay, so be sure to visit my website there, www.inter-market-analysis.com. Certainly view the details on the live analysis service and obviously the mentoring program as well for those that wish to learn how to trade. Okay, either way, let's bring up the review and insight into the European markets this morning. Basically, Asian markets down overnight, so that obviously certainly a negative factor there. Okay, going into the market, given the fact that US market sold off on Friday on the back of Apple fears, on the back of yields obviously rising as well, given the fact that US jobs data came in stronger than expected, given the fact that we've got FOMC this week. Also with regards to China story as well, the confusion regarding China story, that certainly didn't help either. So again, given the fact that Mr. Trump states one thing and then Mr. Kudlow states another, and certainly given the fact that they've not been instructed to map out any potential deal with China, so it certainly seems like it's some sort of ploy for the midterm elections. Either way, market certainly obviously sold off on Friday in terms of US. We hit a pivot over 2700. Ever since then we've stabilized. Okay, Asian markets overnight certainly obviously reacting negatively given the sell-off on Friday, and obviously no potential resolution in terms of Trump and the situation in terms of Chinese trade war. Okay, so in terms of the economic data this morning, really it's been very negative overall. Oil prices obviously were falling on the back of US offering 8 sanction waivers. Chinese CAC data comes in weaker than expected. The Z criticizes Trump, calling him, as we know, somebody who's very backwards. Barclays, Lloyd's worst in terms of stress tests. So again, FTSE certainly under pressure, given the stress tests that were released on Friday. That obviously caused the European equities to sell off as well. Okay, UK PMI numbers coming in worse than expected. European investor confidence coming in worse than expected, and Deutsche Bank concerns obviously remain as well. Although the counterbalance to that is that Mr. Z has stated that he will open up markets and obviously cut import tariffs and obviously crack down on this so-called intellectual property, obviously theft, etc., which I'm not sure that's enough to soothe the American fears. Now again, in terms of the US, obviously midterm election, that remains the main key driver in terms of fundamentals for the remainder part of the week. We have had latest reports with regards to Apple cancelling a production boost. That certainly isn't bullish, okay, and given the fact that Mr. Trump and Mr. Z continue to trade, obviously war of words. Okay, so in terms of the technical picture, let's quickly give you an insight there. Okay, so the German DAX certainly is flushing, continues to flush. Now we are looking to potentially close the gap below 11,460, so watch out there. In terms of gap fill, if the market obviously continues to slide, then we are looking to 11,415. In terms of the 10-minute chart on the German DAX, it's been non-stop move lower ever since we obviously had that sell from Friday. We have had a potential short squeeze up to 11,550, and ever since then obviously the market's reversed and potentially moved lower. Again, it certainly is begging towards gap fill. In terms of the FTSE 100, let's see exactly what's happening here. Again, we sold off. We are now into this key support zone. Okay, so we are now into this key support zone here, which again, it certainly seems to be knocking on. Okay, so ever since we've obviously pushed low to 7080 this morning, we've bounced. It's been a feeble bounce like that as well, so bear that in mind. It's not exactly a very impressive bounce, certainly is feeble. Given the fact that we've got Brexit concerns now, Brexit again going into Tuesday certainly isn't looking good. Okay, there seems to be arguments for and against, and a potential secret deal being done with Miss Theresa May. Again, take it for what it's worth. Again, the focus really should be on GBP USD. Okay, keep an eye on GBP USD, given the fact that obviously it's short squeezed. The move this morning, obviously, of a potential deal, 95% of deal done. It's not exactly very convincing. Otherwise, obviously, GBP USD will be up quite significantly. So, a lot of noise in terms of Brexit. And again, the only way really to check that and understand that really is via the GBP USD. We have actually closed the gap as well, which is quite interesting. So, certainly take that into consideration as well. Okay, so going back to the FTSE 100 then. So, again, 7080 is your key support zone. Watch out for 7080. Daily chart, obviously you can see bottom topping tail was put in at 7200. The market certainly remains bearish, so again certainly take that into consideration as well. 10-minute chart, from my perspective, we've hit a pivot low of 7080, and you've got horizontal support here around the 7085. and obviously pivot low has been 708. Certainly expecting that 708 level to potentially be tested again, and even potentially close the gap at 7035 and retest previous resistance equal support at 7060. So again, looking for bearish bias there. In terms of the French CAC, let's bring up the French CAC for you. Let's see exactly where we stand there. In terms of the French CAC, we've flushed low this morning, obviously towards gap fill. We've bounced off gap fill as well, so European markets certainly holding their own to a large extent. Okay, so certainly take that into consideration. We are now looking into gap fill, pushing lower into 5085. If that market, obviously, if the market continues to flush, given the fact that we have had weaker investor confidence numbers this morning, and also given the fact that we've got concerns regarding Germany, political situation, stalemate there, and obviously Italy we already know of as well. Okay, given the budget deficit concerns. Okay, and given the fact that we have an unfilled gap below at 4980, certainly take that into consideration in terms of the markets themselves as well. We do have a series of higher highs and higher lows, which again has to be respected as well. So again, argument can be made for either side, but fundamentals certainly must dictate. That's my understanding and interpretation. Last but not least, Euro Stoxx. Now I did take a potential long trade on this. Let's just bring this up here. So we've got gap fill, which is around 3200. If the market continues to slide, then you are looking at potential support down here. Okay, so again, it's a subjective support. So support here around the 3195, then you've got 3188, and previous resistance equals support, and then you've got an unfilled gap below as well. So certainly strong argument there in terms of support, so watch out. And again, let's see how this market certainly reacts, given the fact that obviously Asian markets are lower overnight, US markets under pressure given the yields spiking in the back of a hawkish Fed, and given the fact that we've got midterm elections as well. Given if Mr. Trump obviously fails to secure that, then again it will be a risk negative. Okay, so that's certainly a summation really of European markets then. Okay, so please be sure to visit my site. Certainly visit www.inter-market-analysis.com and certainly have a look at the services on offer. Goodbye now.